Well, good afternoon and welcome to another fishing adventure. Me and the boys are out, and as you can see there's a bit of fog around, so we're going to stay nice and close in on the inshore reefs, keep safe, keep together and keep close. So that is the plan. Now, we had a little bit of fun getting in because of the swell. We're all absolutely soaked. We're just going to fish around these reefs, over the top of the reefs in about 10 foot of water. But as you can see, we do have quite a bit of ground swell, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful in places. Always look out for anything that's incoming as well, and you know, if you can see a mate that's fishing and he's not even looking, give him a shout, let him know that, you know, there's some swell around. So we're just gonna have to be a little bit careful. We're right near the high, so it's gonna kind of start to drop off slowly after the high. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna get out fishing, be as safe as possible. We're very close. We use navionics as well, so we know where we're coming from. Jersey, the shoreline is literally 200 meters behind us, so we're gonna be really safe. If it does get really bad, we'll obviously head back in. We know this area like the back of our hand, as the old saying goes, so fingers crossed we can get into some fish. Right, good evening, and we're just over the reef now. It's like 15-20 foot deep. You can see some big rollers coming in, so we're just going to be a bit careful. We're going to stick together, and I'm going to fish with a fish paddle up 20 gram. I'm just going to bob it. You'll just find pockets of them in places, you know. I'm just casting and just letting it drop to the bottom and then just jigging it up and down. Beautiful drift here. You can see the boys fishing away over there. We've got behind us the fog, but it's all good. We're all good. You'll probably see in front little eddies and swells. That's where we're just going over reef, and you can see the actual swell slowly moving in, but at the moment we're all good. There's definitely fog coming back, that from over there again. Oh! Oh! Come on, son. Leo's into our first fish of the night. Play that nice, you. Is it a big bass, reckon? Boy, that's fighting hard. Is it? Get that net ready, boy-o. Oh! Oh! Oh, it's a nice bass, mate. Oh, yeah, mate, that's a lovely bass. Yeah! Yeah, boy! Yes! Go on, the camera's running. Yes, man, that's a lovely fish to start the sesh.
Fucking hell, bruiser, mate.
Bruiser, mate. Hold them up above that. Bring the tail around a bit. There you go. Well, that's a great start there. Leo's just had a fish around 4.5 pounds, I'd say, maybe 60 centimeters. Absolute beast. Huh? You getting hit? Taken on the brown fantasy, but as you can see this fog's now rolling in, so I can actually start to see it clearing up. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay in a free nice and close to each other, safety first, and go from there. Good start, lads. Crack up. That's a solid fish to start the sesh.
Mate, I haven't had a fish like that since January.
You got the horn?
Huh?
You got the horn?
Horn?
Have you got the horn? Bass horn?
Magic cod.
Yeah. The lipstick. Well, I've just moved over to a white YKR. I put a rattle in it as well, just to see if it makes a difference. Today I'm actually also using my old stradic reel. I dunked my Shimano last week and it's not in the best of ways, so gone for an old favourite here. Old little workhorse, so this thing can get wet if needed. But it's still fishing the 79. Bottom. And again. If I get a fish over 80 today, I'll quit fishing. Huh? I'll sell you all my stuff for 50p. Yeah, but there's a buyback clause. Proper eerie evening, but as I say, because we're all very close, it's very safe. Sea's so flat though. I wouldn't be surprised if one of us gets a good wrasse as well. Well, we've just drifted back up. As you can see, it's pretty foggy, but yeah, Scott's got Navionics on and we're just cruising around, cast and drift and just bobbing it up and down. Nice easy session. I'm gonna have some blister on my hand, man. Oh, I just had a hit there, I think. It's when you start hitting the condor, that's when you need to get worried. Huh? Oh, go on, lad. Looks small, mate. Wouldn't go near that. That's a good fish. Alright, I'll come over. I'll just be cameraman tonight. Right, Scotty's just had the next fish. What do you reckon? 53. He's solid. 50, 55.
What are you saying?
50.
Hang on.
Hang on, 50.
Go. Thank you very much.
Put them in there. I'll get them in when you're going in. There you go. Nice fish, mate.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a good start. The boys have had a 60 and a 50 centimetre. I've had nothing so far, but I blame that on my first time ever fishing here. So we'll go from there. We're just paddling back up tide. We're marking where we're actually going and then drifting down over the reef and then back onto it. So, where are you? I'll just go that way a bit. And if you guys all stay together, pretty much, we're in and out of the fog patches, so stay together and you're fine. The swell's actually moving in as well, and you can hear the shore waves crashing on the sand and on the beach. So that's me getting stuck on the bottom every time. Oh! Oh! Yup, fish on. It's only small. It's only a baby. Well, at least it's my first fish of the sesh. There's my first fish, only small. But look how he's hammered that lure, taking it so deep. I had a twat and then came back and smashed me again, but only small. We don't care though. There he goes. There you go, first fish. Well, that'll do. It's a good sign that the planes is going out. Yeah, it's quite surprising. Yeah, I bet there's like no more than 200-foot viz on the runway. The Jersey runway is just over there, so you can probably see me. I'm lifting the rod up and winding and then just letting it do its thing, and while it's swimming down, that tail action is proper pulsating when it's darting to the bottom, and hopefully that's when we're going to get the hit. Right, we've been drifting hard, like, because of the tide going out. It wasn't really the best time to come out of here, so we've just got up the right up tide. You can see the buoys right in front of me. I'm just drifting back. Now the fog's just started to lift. It's quite daunting out here, but when there's a few of you out here, you can kind of keep together. We're using Navionics on the phone, which I've gone on about a few times. Leo's got a Garmin watch as well, so he's been pinpointing where we are. So it's always good to be safe and not sorry. I wouldn't recommend coming out in this kind of stuff, but it's breaking up here and there, so let's get fishing. We ain't got long left, to be honest. We've had 3 fish, 1 each. So I'm gonna just keep going with this little paddle up in a mackerel colour. I think it's time. Cheers to everyone that watches. Nice bit of red stripe to keep the brain ticking over. If you can hear in the background, the splash is over there somewhere, just pumping. Sunday nights at the splash, the water splash, are pretty good. Just letting the line go, get it all the way down to the bottom. That's where we want it. And it's just reef all mixed up and a bit of sand and a bit of weed. All of this actually dries out at low tide on the bigger tides. And Jersey's actually just there, it's in touching distance, but as you can see, you cannot see it at the moment, but I can see the 2 buoys over there. If you look down, you can actually see the bottom. Down there, we're actually over a sandy patch at the moment. You can see the mixture of colour, the lighter green and then the darker patches. Mixed ground, good fun. Plenty of bait, plenty of sand eels in this area at the moment. Plenty of little sprats. That's why the dolphins are sometimes in this bay. Chasing the mackerel that is chasing everything else, maybe bass, maybe mullet. I think I'm going to change over for a skerry. Going to go over to this new colour skerry that Mr. Fish gave me, Mick and Dennis. If you haven't checked them out before, Mr. Fish Jersey, they sell some really good top quality stuff like this Teynru that I've got. One of my favourite rods, this 79. But these new coloured sidewinders, pretty cool. Sink a little bit slower, these as well. Proper coffee grinder, this old workhorse, this reel. It's caught me a lot of fish in its time, but doesn't sound too nice. With the skerry, I like to mix up the retrieval. Just a slow wind and a quick 3 taps or 3 flicks with the reel, or just a straight retrieve. But because we're fishing deep, I want to put a little bit of action into the lure. Yeah, nice. Don't know if you can see it, but right out over there, Leo's into a fish. Right, the drift is really slowed down now, which is quite nice, but the kind of fish have gone off the boil. I don't know if the bigger fish were on the bite when the tide was moving more, you just don't know. But until you fish in places like this and can build up a little pattern of where the fish are, what state of tide, you can't really say. But we had the fish on the bigger fish on the top of the tide, but it's been a nice little session out here. It's good fun. Even though it's quite foggy, we are safe. I think what I might do is we're going to head in about 5 minutes, and I'm going to put a lure out and troll it all the way back, just a shallow diver. See if we can pick up a fish trolling. Now what trolling is I'll let the line out off my reel and let the lure sit behind my kayak. I'm going to probably set it about 50 foot and just going to let the lure just swim around at the speed of what the kayak's doing, and see if we can get a fish on the way back in. And the key with trolling is you don't want to put anything too heavy on so it doesn't get stuck on the bottom, and that's what I'm going to go for, just this little smaller. But I'm not going to cast it out just yet. I'm going to turn around and aim to where we're actually heading, which is that way. And then what we'll do is we'll flick it out behind us, like so. Let some line out, loads of line, and then I'll have it so it's quite loose on the drag, so if anything does take it, it won't take my rod into the water. And we're just going to drift with that behind us, and you guys are going to keep an like so. Ah, the desk. Oh yes. Oh, you see that? Right, we're just over a reef now. As you can probably see, I'm bouncing around. Oh, yeah. Off the top. That's what he wanted. Bass was just going nuts. I had bass all over me just then. Right, yeah, on the top. Come on. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, he just crunched me. Oh, he's off. Oh, great fun. Not had the best of sessions the boys have been catching, but just on the back of this head there seems to be a lot of fish. We're just on last light now. As you can, yeah, there's loads of fish in here. Just on last night, and there just seems to be bass just tucked in behind this area, which is nice.